Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally into our final matchup of the day. It's Mary Jane up against Day9 realme, where we saw Day9 realme did manage to cover 2-0 against Lunaris. Unfortunately, we did not catch the end of that game, but we pretty much knew the story that was going to happen. You know, Day9 realme, one of the more consistent teams, alongside Space Gamer Mamazita. Both teams getting 2-0s respectively. So let's see if Day9 realme can replicate the feat set by Space Gamer Mamazita.
That's right. So Mary Jane will be on your left here as they have the first two bans. It's going to be a Florentino along with a Varus. And on the side of Day9, they're going to ban the Volkov as well as Quixie. So this is
100% ban rate.
Yep, some space left for Zip, I guess. I don't know. Don't know whether they will
I guess the only reason why you will play the Zip is that if you're really comfortable in it. I don't expect Day9 to give up the Zip. I think they will pick the Zip up. Maybe go for something which they are very confident or very comfortable with. Something like, I don't know. So far, the hero that I see they're very comfortable with is some heroes like Darcy. I think they're really comfortable on the Roxy as well. So, yep, the Darcy is getting picked up. But instead of the Zip, they pick up the Elsu. So, yeah, I think Darcy is one of those comfort picks. They look really comfortable on Liliana as well, coming to the first matchup against Lunaris. So maybe they might just want to pick her up. Although, I think the good thing about Darcy is that he's kind of like a flex pick. You can go mage, you can go jungle. And in this case, so far, we only seen jungle Darcy for realme. For Mary Jane, Maja, no two ways about it. It's going to be a mid-mage. So they definitely have to pick up a jungle as well. They need someone that can jump onto Elsu. I think Kriknak is looking really good here. But, you know, if you show that Kriknak in the first phase, then it's kind of risky because, you know, you can set up a lot of counters for him in that second half of the draft for Day9.
Well, I think they can perhaps consider Murad or, well, one of my personal favorites is Nakrov, but hey, whoa, they're gonna get a Violet and a Zenio on their hands. So Mary Jane, I think looking for a very explosive lineup. Zenio, of course, once again, one of the main heroes who can actually just dive into the back line with little effort, with the second skill as well. Violet here, is a hero we are very familiar with, right? So Violet, massive amount of burst. Once she gets her first, I don't know, 2-3 items, she's effectively a killing machine already, right? So let's take a look at what's happening on the other side for Day9. They're considering their third pick before we go into the second set of bans, right?
Yeah.
Laning wise, I think it's tough to lane against Violet, unless you are having heroes like Elsu or very bursty or fast characters. So in my experience, I think the Violet against like Valheim matchup, Valheim kind of wrecks Violet early game, right? Because you kind of stop the farm. She has a 3-second kind of rotation before she can actually deal some damage. But Valheim's kind of like just in your face, kind of throwing the stuff out.
Absolutely agree. And another one of the heroes that we didn't really touch much, although he's kind of fallen off meta. We only seen him getting picked up in the tower server. Is actually Lubu. I think Lubu will do well against the Maja, will do well against the Zenio as well. You know, heroes that doesn't really get affected too much by stunts, or rather single stunts. Although Lubu, if you do have the proper lockdown, then he becomes very vulnerable because you can't get the lifesteal on. You know, you need Conqueror to get the lifesteal, and you need Red Stallion to actually work with the damage as well. But we'll see how that goes. They ban out the Marlock, that's fine. You know, they don't want someone that can jump the back line. We talked about Violet being hard to catch out as well.
Yep.
So this is why they kind of ban out the Violet. They also ban out Florentino as well as various heroes that are really flexible in terms of carrying, as well as being able to dish damage up front. Whereas on the side of realme, they will ban the Kriknak up, you know, heroes that can catch the Elsu. So like I said, you know, if you know, Mary Jane ain't gonna pick him up in the first phase, they will ban him. Day9 is gonna ban him up. So that opens up the draft. If I'm Mary Jane, I'm looking for heroes that kinda are able to catch out Violet. So with Kriknak out of the picture already, I don't think they have to worry too much about a mage, because
I think they have to look for characters that can dive the backline.
I think Kilgrove is a good ban, but
Yeah.
But he's kind of like the similar to Lubu, like I'm saying, you know, like able to go in.
The lifesteal.
Yeah, he has
and
lifesteal,
mobility
really
as
hard
well,
to
right?
deal with. In fact, Kugrov actually out lifesteals Lubu. So
Yeah, because he also is able to get the control, right? Anti-control as well. Well, I feel on the side of Mary Jane, perhaps they want to be looking at a hero that can dive the backline. Because at this point of time, while Xenio can dive the backline, I think Xenio's main priority is just to keep Violet safe.
yeah, absolutely.
Right? Keep the Violet safe, get her to shoot as many shots as possible. Once she gets the damage output, late game is kind of like what, 2 rows and you're done.
So we might be able to see something a little bit different. So Lena now, once again, they are going for a lot of this comfort pickups, not too much of a different there. I think one of the heroes they can consider is actually a Ras. I think Ras would do pretty well in this game. Superman is another hero that they can also consider.
Scud as well. I like
Scud.
Scud.
So all these heroes actually available for Mary Jane. They can play with like a semi-tank. But looks like they want to pick up the Roxy, which is fine as well. I didn't really touch on Roxy. I completely actually forgot about her, to be honest. And so that leaves with Day9's last draft. So you did mention about Murat. Zill's gonna fit the bill as well. Someone that can dive in the backline, catch out the Elsu if he's not properly protected. And in this case, you know, Lielana definitely gonna be with the Baldom, which we saw coming into the first game up against Lunaris for Day9. We're gonna see the Darcy in the jungle. The Elsu is probably going to bot lane, so that kind of leaves just the top side who's going to be facing up the Roxy. So who do you kind of fancy? I think an Omen would be good.
Well, if I were Day9, I don't know. At this point of time, I would perhaps look at characters who would be able to kind of gather the opponent team, because what's happening now on the side of Mary Jane?
Maybe a Mina?
Mina would be great.
I think I still stick to
I would love Greg though.
Oh yeah, but Greg is gonna go on top lane. He doesn't do really well against the Roxy as well. So they need someone to be able to deal with her, but at the same time, not worry too much.
Tara's okay. Tara is able to kind of control where players on the opponent side will be.
She has sustain as well, so that's the good thing. And the good thing about Tara is that she's able to out heal those burst damage coming from either the Maja or the Zill. And in fact, if you look at Violet, Tara does well against Violet as well, because I wouldn't say does well, but it's a good measure against Violet, because towards the later part of the game, they need someone that's standing in front alongside the Baldom. That's going to be the Tara, someone that can dive in, you know, has a decent amount of clear wave as well. So yeah, Tara does actually fit the bill, but I'm a little bit concerned about the lockdown coming in for Mary Jane. I think they lack CC, they have a lot of damage, but if anything, if the game against Mary Jane is a lesson to be learned for anyone out there that's going up against Day9, is that you need a lot of CC fighting against lineup. Not only do you need a lot of CC, you need to be able to time them pretty well. So that is the draft that we are going to be going with.
Well, I don't see a very huge issue in terms of control for the side of Mary Jane, because Mary Jane's lineup so far, I think what options they are currently having is that they are a very mobile team, right? So they can move around the map really easily. They can move around team fights really easily as well. So I think that the issue is more towards Day9, because Day9 now they have to try and land the Baldom ultimate. They have to try and get the shots off by Lover on the Elsu, and Tamon, of course, along with the rest of the team, Bong Bong and Nongmine, right? Nongmine, I think all their skills require you to be at a certain place. You have to aim your stunts and all of this, and the moment you miss is quite a hefty cost.
Skill shots, basically. Yeah. They have a lot of skill shots hero.
So Rainy is actually going to be tossed out by Sharon. And,
that's fine. I think the important part here is that they have to watch out for Sharon going in to disrupt Jane, because this is what happened in the previous game. You know, he went in, he did a little bit of destruction, although this time around definitely doing a lot better. So I don't think Jane was affected too much there. She still should be on course, wouldn't be losing out to the Darcy by too much.
That's right. So Elsu here, I think, has a pretty good lane against Violet, as long as Lover, she plays it safe, maintains her distance. I think it should be okay. As you can see, Linus not really having the best time against an Elsu. Well, of course, in the mid lane, I think so far there have been a lot of good rotations by any teams we have seen so far today, right? But it looks like Rainy is gonna be putting some pressure on Lover.
Yeah, she does need a little bit of help. Violet, that is, if you look at the net worth now, 0.607.
Toei here might get caught out. She is safe though. Being the Maja, she has good control and lifesteal as well from her skills. So she should be able to last. Rainy here with the stun, jump in, a good one. But Rainy, not too dangerous.
Yeah, I think they're just trading blows for now.
She's quite tanky, so just a few pokes.
Just to kind of remind that, you know, the mid lane is kind of controlled.
Well, but the Jane, so the Jane is 4 now, which means the access to her ultimate. And I think they want to look for a fight here as they go in, and Toei gonna be the first one with the bad exchange, bad positioning here. It looks like it's gonna be a wipe in the middle if things continue here, but looks like the Jane is gonna be the only sole survivor as Tamon very low on health as well. Savage makes her way down with the Roxy, trying to cover the lane for
that's the sustain that we talked about coming up from the Tara as well as the bottom. So those two heroes definitely in front for the team, making sure that not only they soak the damage, but Tara's damage is something that you cannot ignore. Like, she's not the most painful of heroes, but she does, you know, take quite a bit of damage off your HP if you just stand inside her swing for too long.
It's a very tough lane for Savage, to be honest, because Bongbong actually has the jungle talent, right? So which means that more or less it should be Bongbong having a level advantage, and that level advantage of course spells a higher level of ultimate towards the later part of the game. So Roxy, even though she has a lot of damage, you know, the sustain by Bongbong is pretty insane.
Yeah, she's probably gonna be able to steal away all that jungle creeps as well. Like the Spirit Sentinel.
The skirmish in the middle right now as Baldum is getting caught out. Looks like it's okay. Sharon's still pretty healthy so far, but Rainy maybe not wanting to check the push in such a way here. Rainy maybe getting caught out. The heals come in as Rainy actually stomps out. And one Linus has actually been caught here, and it looks like it's going to be a full-blown fight in the mid lane. Toei actually getting caught out here. Is there enough damage to follow up? Yes, there is, as the Jane actually unleashes her ultimate, gets the kill on Sharon here, but pays the price. Exchange is going to be a 5-1 scoreline here in favor of Day9 as usual. Savage here, just trying to poke out some damage across the lane, making sure they don't have the creeps inside. Lover here, very aggressive with her push here, right in front of the tower, as Bongbong has been given so much space here to create for herself. She's gonna get the Sentinel as well, so this looks all good on the side of Day9.
Yeah, the good thing about the Sentinel is not only do you get the vision, but you get the EXP buff as well. So you compare Savage as compared to Bongbong, you know, you can see that half a level difference, but that difference is going to be starting to escalate even more. But coming into that first fight, I think what we saw really well done coming out from our RMD is that a little bit unfortunate and lucky for D9 is that they managed to avoid the last hit onto the Liana by the Zeal. A little bit unfortunate for the Jade because that last hit could have just killed the Liana off, but
that's right. But with that, now they are going to be able to secure the 80 for themselves. I don't see any contest coming in. Too late by Rainy here. Good attempt, but she has to kind of make her way out of the fight here. As Lover with the Elsu, so she has actually laid down the vision for the team. So now they know exactly where Rainy as well as Linus are, and this is really good information for them because now they can try and catch out any one of them. Rainy actually, can she save her teammate? Okay. She actually soaks up a bit of damage for Linus, who actually got caught at the bottom lane here. But of course, with that happening, you can see what Bongbong has been doing, just eating up the entire jungle lane at the top. And now it's going to be a skirmish on a one-on-one on the top lane here.
Yeah, they're going to be fine. I don't think Bongbong will worry too much. She has an ultimate as well, so she's kind of trying to save it, try not to use it. We do finally see her getting the ultimate out. But more importantly, bot lane, I think Violet's going to get caught out, and that's instantly getting burst up by the Liana's ulti, and they might get another one as well onto Zeno, although Maja has something to say about that. I think Toei, wrong timing, my friend, maybe? Oh!
Really just blew them up here. So Tamon, again, I mean, we have already seen her in the previous games. Tamon's really strong, and a good grasp of when she should enter and disengage from fights here. Bongbong gonna have to defend against Savage, who is gonna be burning them out. Oh no. So Savage actually misses her ultimate here, and so with the Jane, I think she's fine. She's
doing a good job as well. She's purposely standing into that pool of damage coming out from Rainy, and what this does is that or Savage.
Sharon here actually gets the engage, and now the Jane 1v4. I don't think that is really the best place to be right now. Tamon actually doesn't get the cooldown fast enough, So now Savage is gonna be facing a 1v5 situation in the top lane. Savage didn't know about the rotation for sure. And this is gonna be the next tower on the side of Day9. Toei, no ultimate here to use, so feeding all these kills, 10 kills in total on the side of Day9 here as Lover gets a few shots in, clears the lane. So this is a lot of pressure on the side for Day9, right? They have created for themselves.
I was just about to say, I think, Momo did an absolutely splendid job at holding the top lane. You can notice every single time, the Jane as well as Savage tried to push the top lane, Momo just throws her ultimate down, walks into the pool of damage that the flames that Savage does, and what this does, it draws aggro from the tower.
That's right.
So that forces the Roxy back. She's able to stand one-on-one with the Zeal, and she just clears the wave and backs off, and that's all for nothing.
She essentially makes the rest of Mary Jane redundant, right?
Yes, correct. That push coming from top lane is just
Rainy here maybe getting caught, but it's okay. Xenio, I mean, still a mobile tank, right? So Sharon, I mean, while she got that toss, wasn't too bad of it. Looks like Sharon's still looking for more here.
I don't think they will be finding anything, although the Violet's a little bit out of position. Just a little bit. I think the flip might be just do that trip. I think the Elsu snipe might be able to get it done, but Lover's just too busy clearing up the wave. They will miss that shot. I think Zen is just going to be more than happy to soak up that damage as well. But this means with the Violet gone, they can go for the Dark Slayer, but can they do it fast enough though?
This is a really fast Dark Slayer. This is 7 minutes and 50 seconds here, and I think this is a fight for Mary Jane to take, because this is what can change the game for them. Looks like Lioness gets a few good shots in. Rainy maybe getting caught out. No,
that's bad.
They won't be able to protect Lioness here, who is going to be teleported back, and it's going to be a kill. So this is the turning point here. Can the Jane do anything? No, not much actually, as Toei actually dies as well. So Rainy left along with the Jane. This is a bad team fight. I mean, they got one kill out of this skirmish, right? They didn't really exert any lane dominance so far. Savage here probably not be able to catch the Tamon here.
Yeah, I think the consolation is obviously they got Lianana, so no min is obviously going down, but they lose 2 cores on it. They lose the Maja, they lose the Violet in the first. But in the first place, Violet wasn't even the target. They wanted the Zenu, but Violet was just caught in a really bad position. Bardem managed to get the flip, and Darcy just using the ultimate to blow her up as well. You've got the Elsu to provide the burst that they need to kill anyone that the bottom catches out. So I really think Day9 taught this throughout the draft. And throughout the entire fight, Tara wasn't even there. That is the key point. It wasn't even a 5-on-5 fight.
And Savage just blew her ultimate, with no one in sight, but it's okay. So I think that the issue here that Mary Jane is facing is that Day9 is actually giving them extra objectives to clear, right? So besides having to clear your jungle camps, besides clearing your lanes, you have to clear the Elsu devices as well. And that's an issue here.
And I think they will get this Dark Slayer uncontested because they don't have the Roxy, and with Roxy off the map, Tara can concentrate on helping their teammates, and it's a 5-on-4. Obviously they're gonna be able to pick up the Dark Slayer, and more importantly, I think this is pretty much GG. I mean, at some point in time we have to come to consensus. It's a 5k goal lead. All the objectives, or major objectives, are in the favor of Day9. They got 1 Abyssal Dragon, 1 Dark Slayer, which just got 3 turrets, and I think they are way ahead in fight. If you compare the Violet compared to the Elsu, we're looking at what, 500 difference?
Yeah, that's close to at least half an item.
And the Violet just managed to get her rank breaker, but it's definitely not enough. She needs so much more. She does have the might buff, so that might provide a little bit of a cushion.
Well, she does have a crit online at least, along with the rank breaker, so it's still some saving grace, but she needs to be very careful with her positioning here. Even Rainy as a tank is really melting really fast here. It should be the opposite, of course, but Linus here, really low. Rainy, this is the time she wants to jump in, get the Drake out of the picture here. Toei actually really aggressive with the positioning. Not as safe as I would like it personally, but I think this is some of the measures they have to go with, right?
Yeah, I think they're just using the Dark Slayer buff really well now.
Yeah,
they know they can't take a fight, and Mary Jane's just being so out. Look at that! They can't do anything because of the burst from the Elsu.
That's right. Bongbong just has to stand in the front and essentially just dismantles the team, right? She just soaks up the damage. Unsavage all alone in the center here, might get caught out by Lover. And it looks like the split push is working out for Day9 here, as they have gotten the top turret down to less than half health.
And they're pulling away the Roxy as well.
All this while happening, Bong Bong is really comfortable. You know, look at her health. She has been taking so many tower shots already.
And that's a good thing about the Tara as well. We did speak about, you know, picking up a hero that has a lot of lifesteal. And, you know, I mean, if you pick up a Tara, you don't even need lifesteal. You have sustain and regen. That's what you really need in the top laner.
So Sharon now is just looking for a kind soul to be slightly out of position. Doesn't even have to be out of position, right?
Yeah,
and they get the tower here. Demon is just going to look for that drawback straight away.
Yep.
Here he comes. One target hits it. And it's going to be Sharon, who actually mistimes the dash here. Unsavage gets the pull on Tamon. Is this the one that they want to try and go for as Linus falls to less than half health?
Ooh.
What a burst that was. Toei the first to fall in this exchange. As the Jane tries to look for the backline. Not happening for her for sure. Sharon just pushing the fight in a very, very bad direction. Bong Bong showing them who's boss. I mean, she's the queen at this point. Her health is not even dwindling that much.
Yeah, but I think more importantly, they do manage to pick up the Elsu, which is the only reason why Day9 is not able to push him. But good pressure onto all three base turrets. Both the middle and the top already down to half HP.
Yep, and the DS is up already.
Yeah.
So
when Elsu comes out, they start the DS and they rinse and repeat. At this point, the only way that I see Mary Jane being able to come back of any chance is to force a fight. They have to force a fight at Dark Slayer. They cannot afford to let the Dark Slayer be taken away.
Right. If the DS is taken, I feel it's instant GG, right? So I mean, Mary Jane, they aren't doing much to contest this at this point in time. They can't deal too much damage. Sharon too tanky. Bong Bong is not even at the fight. And I mean, this is a huge issue for Mary Jane, right?
Yeah, and now they are going to be facing the same issue which they faced in the early game, or rather in the mid game, which is the heroes of Day9 are not just now too tanky. Your Violet can't exactly burst them down, and even if you want to go the all-out fight, I mean, Day9 can match damage for damage, blow for blow.
Rainy here being aggressive, she wants to try and make things work. I think they have to get rid of Lover for sure if they even want to stand a chance. But the thing here is that Linus damage, typically a Violet, once she's kind of towards the late game status, she's gonna hit for at least 2.7 to 2.9 for her crits, right? She's currently averaging around 2.1. Not really the best state, so I don't see how they're gonna be able to defend this at this point of time. Unsavage misses her ulti again as Bong Bong is just chilling at the side here. Toei actually falls as well, a nice clip off. Unsavage can't do much. Linus really low on health, falls back into the fountain. Rainy, while she's tanky, she's not gonna be able to survive this for sure. Lover actually gets the kill. Trades her life. Yep, she gets the trade off. 1.7 damage out by Linus. But that's all she can do, right? As the rest of the team, they're breathing down on the final turret of the base. Yeah, doesn't look too good, but Unsavage trying to fight for her pride. Bong Bong is just hitting the throne. Doesn't give 2 cents about what's happening. And this is it.
Yeah, I mean, Bong Bong practically became the true red boss of the team. So that's going to be 1-0 for...
Game 1, convincing win here.
I think convincing is a pretty much of an understatement. Come on, like, Elsu died both times, and both times were the only reason because, Day9 were like, okay, if we don't sacrifice someone, then we're just gonna back off without taking. So let's just put them there. Let's just let them throw everything down. And the only skill that they really have to fear is the Jane's ultimate, which is the Zeus ultimate, right? If they can outlast that burst damage, and the Zeus takes out the Elsu, which is their main source of damage, it's not the end of the world without the Elsu, because they have the tower who still does substantial damage to a tower. They still got the Darcy, they still got the Leliana. So still enough damage to bring down a tower, but not enough to end the game. It's fine. They just take the top, rinse and repeat, and even in the last push, you saw Tara just hammering away at the base and not giving 2 cents about what's happening to herself. So really well played coming in from the entire lineup of Day9. And who's your MVP for the match? I know the MVP given is to Darcy, but I've got a different opinion What about you?
I think we are kind of on the same page here.
Yeah,
I think Bong Bong was the main
the
main
fact
reason,
that the
right?
fact that she held the top lane so well and then
against multiple people
yeah,
at the same time.
against the Zero, against Roxy, you know, she kind of made it feel like a 6v5. Like she's two heroes by herself. You know, she's split pushing, she's everywhere on the map. She's applying pressure across all the lanes. You know, she's making sure that Roxy is always kind of focused away, which kind of kind of brings back this question. Coming to the team fight, was Roxy the right draft?
I feel Roxy is okay. But the thing is, I think in terms of items, right? Perhaps Roxy should have been working towards a tomb if she didn't. Are we able to see the...
Oh yeah, absolutely, of course.
So yeah, she didn't go for the Tomb of Reaper. I think that the number one item you definitely must have against a Tara at all times is always a Tomb, anti-lifesteal, right? So Tomb of Reaper or what's the other item? The
Boomstick.
No, not Boomstick. The sword. Never mind, it's okay. So in terms of like anti-healing, like Tara doesn't do well against anti-healing, right? That's a whole gist of her character build up. So if they had some anti-healing properties on the team itself, I think they would have lasted a bit longer. If not, turn the fight. And I think one reason they couldn't take this fight was the snowball, right? Tamon actually snowballed really hard. Her net worth is close to twice of the opponent team for each individual player.
Yeah.
Right. So it's something that I think they can plan for better next stage, because Violet didn't really take off against the against Lover, right? And her Elsu. The main issue was that they couldn't secure enough space for Violet to kind of get the farm in, and that was the main reason they kind of fell off, because Violet is supposed to be the main damage dealer, right? So that would have changed the tune of the fight for the team on the side of Mary Jane as well.
Okay, so I mean I really do I agree with you on that as well. I really think there are a lot of I would say factors that kind of allowed Mary Jane to really lose, but I think the item that you're talking about was Curse of Death.
Yes, the COD, right? Yeah, so Curse of Death.
So I think the Curse of Death was what were you actually talking about. So maybe if they had the Curse of Death on either heroes, or maybe even the Jane, because she was farming. I mean the Jane definitely would not pick up the item.
Probably would
but,
have been...
It's either Earn Savage or Linus, and I think Earn Savage should have picked that item up, because you're going against the Tara. You know you're going to be facing her.
They place it on Toi, but the thing about Toi is that your skills, they only deal the damage once, right?
Yeah.
So for Earn Savage with the burn, it's a constant burn. You actually get that anti-healing all the way.
Yeah, you reset the count as well.
Correct.
Because
So
it's every time you refresh, it's 1.5 seconds, and then you trigger normal attacks, which you have all these other heroes that's coming in to extend to 3 seconds.
So essentially, Bonbon is full anti-healing all the way, right?
And on top of the item gives you additional lifesteal as well. So actually, it would have helped
Earn Savage better.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
She could have sustained even longer the fight. She's already quite sustainable. She's got the Hyuga's armor. She's got the Burning Cape. She's got Gaia as well. So I think all of these items does help a little bit. But with that being said, still congratulations to Day9. They did a really perfect job. In fact, I don't think I can fault them too much. Maybe I'll give them a 9.5 out of 10 for game management. But more importantly, it's about the way that they hold their ground. But looks like we might have the next lobby up. So, any tips for the next game or the next match?
Well, I don't think it's a drafting issue. I mean, we've seen the draft. It's just how the game fell off in terms of how they manage the laning phase, right? So, I think they can definitely do it better. Yeah. In terms of lane management, I think the draft was entirely fine, because Violet, we have seen how dangerous and how explosive Violet can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once Violet snowballs, it's a different story, right?
I feel like Violet and Elsu both pretty much had the same role in that game. They just had to make sure that none of the other heroes, or rather none of the other laners just disrupted their farming phase, just make sure they don't get caught out in the position. And in fact, I think Violet didn't get caught out too much. The only time I saw Violet getting caught out was that one engagement in the top lane where Zeno was the one that got caught out. But I think they wanted to re-engage, but there just wasn't too much of a communication between the team. So looks like we are already into the second game's draft against
straight away. A ban on Darcy. So this is a hero they don't want to
It's a comfort pick. It's a comfort pick for the side of Day9 Realm. Realme. I mean, Realm would sound very nice as well. But Day9 Realme, you know, they ban out the Darcy. I think the other hero that might consider banning out is actually Bottom. But that's gonna throw the zip over to the side of Day9. Although they have the first draft, so they can still ban out that. But there is still so many heroes that you put on the board. You got Varus. You have. You do have other heroes like I talked about Zip as well. I think the hero that I'm looking for
Arum. I think Arum does it as
like I said, I think Arum is really good. I think Arum would have done really well in the first draft, but Tara did the job as well, so I can't complain too much. But the hero that I was talking about not getting banned out was Richter. Richter was actually banned out in the first game, so I don't know. I think Richter getting banned out. We haven't seen too much Richter. I think Richter is a hero which oh my god. Okay, I think Richter is actually a hero that Day9 is not interested in picking up. It doesn't look like a hero that they really want.
Perhaps not a comfort pick, right?
Yeah. So I think Varus does make a lot more sense. So I'm pretty sure Day9 is still gonna pick up Bottom. And then maybe they'll pick up the Elsu as well. But they banned on the Florentina, which has been a constant ban throughout. They don't really want to deal with heroes with too much tankiness.
Well, I think with the ban on Xenio, right, from the side of Day9, I think one of the replacement options they can consider is probably a Scud. I think Scud hasn't really been picked up a lot of games so far, right?
But none of the games.
Scud itself, I mean, we used to love Scud. Right?
Yeah,
Scud is a very powerful warrior. Maybe not the tankiest, but the amount of damage that he can dish out with his Furious Charge as well as his Power Glove is insane. Yeah. And the best part is about his mobility, right? So his main damage dealing to me is not just the Wild Beast Fury, is the Power Glove, because it displaces opponents, you get that mini stun, and it's really fun.
I think the displacement is from the Wild Beast Fury, but I do get your point. Like, the main damage is from that Power Glove, you know, and the fact that it's very low cooldown, it's like 5 seconds, like towards the late game it's like 9 seconds, but you add those cooldown items and you get a lot of damage, and on top of it the damage is just a lot by itself. You get 220 base damage at level 6, you get plus 0.4 AD, and then you know you don't really have, he's not the squishes of hero as well, so low cooldown, really good mobility, especially with the Furious Charge, and you also get an additional 20% damage every 10 seconds. And you get a regen as well. Yeah. So all in all, just it's a really good utility hero and a very high burst amount of damage packed into one package. But it looks like they're gonna pick up the Zip and Marlock. So we did talk about the Zip. So because they banned the Zeno, they give the Florentino over to Mary Jane, which they do pick as their first pick.
It's gonna be a Bowdom and Elsu as well.
I think it's a good trade. You give the Florentino, but you pick up the Zip.
Elsu now is going to be back in the hands of Mary Jane. Yeah. So Toei, not the best game for her, you know, in this first set just now. I think it was a 1-7-2 for her, right? So I think she's trying to redeem herself. Perhaps this is her actual natural role in the team. So Toei will be on the Elsu.
I mean, they will be switching the heroes. So I'm assuming that we might see a little bit of a difference. But yeah, I think that was just a really bad game for her, not only because of her gameplay. I think her gameplay was fine. It's just, you know, the way that Day9 rotated, it wasn't the easiest game for Toei.
It was forced mistakes, right? Yeah. So Day9 kind of forced the entire situation for Mary Jane. They couldn't really get it done properly. So looks like they're gonna consider Tel'Anas, right? Tel'Anas, like we mentioned before, we have already seen Tel'Anas can dish out a lot of damage within a short amount of time.
Easy hero to use, and at the same time, not the flashes of heroes, but does have a ton of damage late game. And the best part is she outranges towers. Yeah.
Well, she's not gonna outrange Elsu for sure, but I think One of the other things about Elsu that I really like is that you actually place extra objectives, as I mentioned in the previous game, right? So they have to look for your devices as well. They have to disable the devices, and that requires you to stand on the device for at least, I think, 2 seconds, if I'm not wrong.
They got a snipe as well, and the best part about the snipe is that, you know, he does that decent amount. I mean, it's not the most painful skill, but definitely not more painful than Violet's burst. But you know, it's still pretty decent. You know, you do get early snipe offs, and obviously, it always serves as a reminder to the opponents that, you know, if you're caught in a bad position, you're low in HP, there's always an Elsu to look out for. It keeps all your tanks on your toes to block those shots. So yeah, it's always a really good hero to have. We're gonna see the Krigna getting banned out as well as the Volkov. Can't say I'm too surprised. They are banning out heroes that have a decent amount of burst because, you know, they picked up the Tailwinders, and you know, Krigna is definitely
mobility as well. I think what they have done really, really well on the side of Day9 is that they always remove that dive component from the opponent's side, right?
Yes,
nobody's able to touch the backline, and while all of that is happening, they will always be outpoking the opponent team, which you can tell by the picks telling us one of the major contenders of outpoking opponents in the range game. So this is countered well by Elsu on the side of Mary Jane, where being played by Toei. But we have to see who is more robust in you know, playing their heroes, because it's all about positioning, I think, in this game.
I absolutely agree. I think now Ras would do really well against Elsu. Just to be able to catch him out of position, you know, ability to rotate. You can also, you know, just flip backwards, don't have to put yourself in too bad a position. But they pick up the Roxy, something to really deal with the Baldum as well as the Florentino if they want to come into the position that to catch out the Tailwinders. So I kind of understand why they pick up the Roxy, but they still need a jungler. So what do you kind of recommend here? I mean, Krigna's already banned out. Murat doesn't really fit the bill as well because he's not able to really just burst through the bottom.
Well, I think if they like tankier characters, they can probably take a look at Zenith or Zephys. I mean, these two characters are really, really strong. If not, Wukong as well. So Wukong, I think one of the things that you want to try and do is that because you have an Elsu, right? Elsu is pretty hard to find, to be honest, if the Elsu is really good. So you can play that you know, invisibility game with them, or you can even move with the mobility game. Wukong itself is already a very mobile character. Zephys and Zenith, they are able to exit and enter and exit fights really, really easily. Yep. So perhaps that is something that Day9 will be considering. As you said, you wanted a Res is in.
Yep.
So maybe not played by the Jane, I'm not sure, but we do have a Lupu as well.
I think they will be swapping roles. I'm most likely be seeing Linus play the Elsu. That's what we kind of saw coming in the first game. She was playing the
Violet, right?
Yeah, she was playing the Violet, so I'm guessing they will be switching roles.
Elandor, we haven't seen much of this guy.
No, we haven't seen this guy at all coming into this entire tournament, this entire circuit.
Yep. So Elandor is really strong. He's one of the new characters. Really interested to see how Bong Bong is gonna play this. Bong Bong, I think, has a really, really great understanding of the game, and I mean, just across the board on the side of Day9, they have already displayed great understanding and a good teamwork as well. So really interesting to see how they will play it out as they will be swapping the roles. So Elandor will be played by Tamon instead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she was playing. What was the hero that she was playing in the previous game?
Darcy.
Yeah, she was playing the Darcy in the previous game. You know, she's got decent farm rate. You know, really good awareness of those timings as well. And obviously, we saw that really great maneuver to zone out Mary Jane to the top lane, and then they were more than happy to give the Spirit Sentinel, but instead they give the first blood on the top side. But they not only pick up the first blood on the top side, but they pick up the Abyssal Dragon as well. So that is a really good map awareness coming out from the entire team. But in general, that's the jungler, because you know the jungler is the one that kind of dictates the entire momentum of the team's rotation. But coming into the second game, it is gonna be Florentino, Baldum, Elsu, Ras, and Lubu for Mary Jane, and outside of Day9, realme. They're gonna be picking up the Tailwinders, Roxy, Zip, Marlock, and Elandor.
Pretty even so far, I would say. I wouldn't pick a favorite based on the lineups. I mean, Mary Jane is a really mobile lineup, right? You have Lupu, who's able to jump in and out.
Oh, I love him. I love him so much.
And you have Florentino. So Florentino is one of the most mobile heroes in the game, alongside Nakrov and stuff like that. And of course, on the side of Day9, you have a very tanky but strong burst lineup, right? You have the Malok, who's able to soak up so much damage and deal out so much damage as well, while you have the Talonnas at the back shooting everyone to death. So it's interesting to see. We will see who's able to actually get the lane control first, because I mean, based on the first game, we have seen the lane control matters a lot. Bong Bong with the Tara, making sure things didn't go well for Mary Jane.
Welcome to Arena of the Proud.
Absolutely, first game currently
Get
in
ready.
the favor on the side of Day9 realme. And like I said, it's always nice to have your first game in hand. You know, you don't have the pressure.
Cushion, right?
Yeah, you have a
Cushion for
cushion. You
yourself.
do have a little bit of a pressure to end the game, but you know, you do have that little bit of the leeway per se to go up against your opponent. So same, I also trying to go for the snipe. Don't think you can find too much. I think it's just to push the wave out a little bit.
That's right. So once Linus reaches level 2, I think it's going to be a bit harder for Day9, because now she would have a better vision around the map. So it gives you 2.5k vision around the map. So this is really, really important. It looks like Day9 not really going to care for too much as they take the buffs from the jungle. So they are comfortable with fighting, because Nomi is able to actually get the shield out. And the cleave, look at the damage!
Oh, that hurts so much as well. I mean, Nomi with the cliff, and not only the cliff, they did not get the buff, but they don't care. They just want to steal away one jungle creep from Florentino. So that's gonna not only slow down Florentino, he's not gonna be, the Jane is not gonna be able to hit level 4, and that is just huge
That's right.
for Ilandor, because she's gonna be way ahead.
And take a look at what's happening at the bottom lane. Elsu still doing okay against the Talonnas, but now both players are forced back into their own skirmishes. As we take a look at the middle lane here, Ilandor actually starts the skirmish. Tamon here really fast, already level 4, slightly higher in terms of the XP compared to Jane, who's on the Florentino of course. Zip here trying to get some stuns, and it looks like Rainy is not going to do well here, as it's going to be a 4v3 on the side of the middle river.
Yeah, the good thing is, like you said, you know, the Jane, or rather Mary Jane's draft is very mobile,
Yep.
so they can kind of just disengage from the Malok. They don't have to worry too much. Malok needs his level 4 for the stomp. I mean, if you don't have stomp, you can't really have the stun.
Lina is doing very well though in the lane. Rainy trying to give some protection to her mid, which is being played by Toei on the res, as they look to move into a rotation here. Rainy may be getting caught out. Not really. The real target here is Linus, because Linus is proving to be a problem for Talonnas here, who's being played by Lover. So really well done. Linus, I think, specializes in the MM, as we have seen playing on the bottom. But this, of course, the space created allows the AD to be taken. This is going to the side of Day9. Very good objectives here. Rainy, really low on health. And it looks like Linus is going to be trying for the snipe here. Get the wave clear. And we can see in the middle, already with this distraction itself, while they have given the AD, they do have some lane pressure down in the mid.
Yeah, and at the same time, they have Roxy up against Lubu as well. She's just gonna have the time of her life, because you know, Lubu's definitely not gonna be able to harass too much on the Roxy, especially when she has that second skill. She's gonna lay the pool of flames on the ground, and you know, Lubu can't really do much there. He does have the red Stellar, which is the only reason why he's able to.
Oh, bottom lane here, Elsu may be getting caught out. Lane pressure all the way at the bot here. You can see Zip and Malok, they are already rotated down. Good response time by the rest of the team on the side of Mary Jane here. And Rainy actually doesn't get the target that she wants. Gets Sharon instead. But here, the Jane actually misses as normally she stomps out. So not a big issue here, as Lupu having to do 2 lanes now, having to cover for Res, as well as now meeting Roxy in the top lane.
Yeah, I think one thing that we kind of missed out there was Sharon using Angry.
Right,
actually
Rainy here gonna be taken out. First blood goes to the side of Day9 here, as Linus is going to try and make them pay, but to no avail here, as the second kill as well goes in quick succession.
Yeah, so really good rotation down to the middle. Elendor comes in the right time. They see Linus underneath the tower, and I think they definitely want to go for the dive.
That's
Yeah,
right,
they will
Linus.
get the stun up first. A little bit of cleave to do a little damage. But trying to buy a little bit of time. They had the zip there. And yeah, I was just about to say, you know, Sharon's doing a really good job at keeping her teammates alive. She has an ultimate on cooldown, and she can actually go in for the fight. But they know Rainey's there. They know the Wild Prison's available, so they just want to do something back door.
Right, Rainy trying to get that dash out, but probably not gonna happen here. There's no follow-up damage on the spot, so I don't think it was worth it to try in the first place. Bong Bong here, like you said, very comfortable time. He gets the grasp on Savage here, who has to go kind of get the lifesteal to get back in health. But Bong Bong now faced with 3 members. And we can see how the team fight is happening here as we look at what's happening. A nice storm here. It catches only one. It catches Rainy, the tank. So it's still okay. Savage here really low on health though, as Tamon manages to get a few pokes out. Toei misses the punch. And now it looks like everything has been reset. And well, Elsu still doing well in the middle. At the bottom.
They burn a heal, they burn a flash from the bottom as well, so there's 120 seconds they don't have to worry about for a really crazy engage. They might get Toei here, they managed to get the kill down, but he does have revive. Nope, he doesn't, they get another one! And that is the burst of the Elendor. That is 3 quick kills, that's triple kill. And they might be able to pick up even a tier 2 tower. I don't think Elsu can do too much. A sidestep as well. Linus has to be a bit careful about the Elendor. And they will not only get the tier 2 tower, they can also pick up the jungle creeps along the way.
Right, and as that happens, AD is already up. I mean, it's been up for a while now. But yeah, this is 3 objectives on the side of Day9. This story didn't really change here. Toei trying to, you know, dish out some damage, clear the creep waves for the team. Savage here trying to make things work as well, but you know, too little too late at this point of time. 6 minutes into the game and the next Abyssal Dragon actually is in favor of Day9 as well. Bong Bong still doing a really good job of maintaining her lane.
And they are going to be engaging right now. The Wild Prison comes up, they get the flip onto the zip as well. But here comes the storm coming off the Marlow. Good storm onto 2 members there. But the Rust still has damage to get down the Tel Arnas. One more ulti coming in, and the Eleanor will burn the Rust up into flames. Linus, no way out. Low mobility for the Elsu. That is going to be 3 more members out for the count. Yes, they do manage to get the Tel Arnas, but there's just so much loss in that fight, and now they're gonna wrap around. I think Lubu has no way out of this. They got Roxy trying to waste time as well, and I think Savage, even with Conqueror, I don't see a way out for him. He's definitely going down.
Right, I mean, if you can get a kill in return, it would be great, but that's not gonna happen for sure. So it's gonna be a 9-1 scoreline, and most of the kills, mind you, are going to Tamon, which is their carry of the game. So this looks like it's gonna be a huge snowball, similar to game 1. What's the scoreline for Tamon right now?
I mean, it's 9-1, and then Tamon is 6-0-2. That's
6-0-2.
90%.
Yeah, she was 10-0 and something, you know, first game, and I think this is gonna be the same story again for the side of Day9.
Might even be more.
Right, so it's looking grim on the side of Mary Jane, but of course, not to fret here, they can mount a comeback if things go in their way. Elsu's still getting a bit of farm, so Linus, she's still pulling her weight at this point of time. A nice 1.7k damage so far. Sharon runs in with the backline with Tamon here. This is gonna be a wrap around. 2 members, 3 members, 4 members all caught out. Linus not enough health, and Sharon actually falls really low. So this might be a turn of a fight here as they shut them down. So Tamon is gonna die here, and it was like the Jane pulling her weight here. Can she do it? Can she kill Leva? She kills her. It's gonna be a 1v1 situation, and it's not gonna be a dream come true here, as it's gonna be left with a 2v1 situation on the map as Bong Bong as well as Longmin are left alive. Savage has to try and protect the base.
Bong Bong did manage to pick up the Rust as well as he was trying to make his getaway from top. So that is a good map awareness coming up from the offlaner to actually know where your opponents are going. But more importantly, in that fight, I think that wasn't too bad of a fight for.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight.
Even though they lose more heroes, but the net worth on Day9 alone does warrant that advantage, or rather does justify that fight.
That's right. So I mean, if you look at Rainy, not much farm to her name at this point of time, but I think so far she's been pulling her weight in the fights. Haven't seen a successful ulti yet at this point in time, but you can see trying to make space for her team as Blooming is being very irritating. But along with Sharon joins the fight, Savage probably gonna lose the fight against Bong Bong. Not enough sustain for sure. Sharon, really low in health. Is this the fight to take? Yes, they actually get the kill. The Jane really strong now, but they have to protect her as the Jane actually gets taken out.
Yeah, there's 3 members out, and you got Tori coming down as well. Roxy going to be joining once again into the fight. They take 4 members, and
it looks like GG.
Yep, I really don't think there's anything that Linus can do on her own, and that's gonna be a 2-0 for the side of Day9.
Really
yeah, I mean it's similar to game 1, but it's more, it's accelerated because of how well Bong Bong is playing. I mean, she's gotta be my man of the match again, and I know Talmon did really well in this game, but it's the small things that Bong Bong do. Winning the lane convincingly, rotating at the right time, cutting the escape off when all those heroes of Maryjin are running with the tails between their legs, and then finally just coming in really huge to actually pick up the Florentina in the mid. And I mean, what more can I say? 3 heroes down. There's really nothing that Linus can do on her own. So well played to Day9.
Right, Day9, I think they show really strong dominance in the laning phase as well. Like you said, Bong Bong really controlled the lane against Lupu, right? We did see a glimmer of hope by the Jane. She really did well. The last couple of fights, the Jane really stepped up to the plate, got a few kills in, important kills as well. So she got rid of the tanks, she got rid of Sharon, she got rid of Nongmin as well. But of course, to no avail, as the rest of the team were actually taken out by Tamon. So it'll be interesting to see how this composition from Day9 matches up against the previous team that we were casting for, which was SGM. So both teams have really similar playstyles, real strong aggression, and it'll be interesting to see how these teams turn out if they do get to meet each other.
Yeah, absolutely. But with that being said, we have unfortunately come to the end of the game. Remember, this is not only the circuit of the summer, this is not the summer circuit, but we still have 2 circuits involved in 2020 as compared to previous season. So we have 4 games instead this time around. For the PC, we have Dota 2 as well as League of Legends, which is also happening right now. So if you want to check that out, you can go onto FSL LOL on Facebook. You can watch it on Yahoo as well as our other streaming platforms like Twitch as well as YouTube. Or you can check out AoV as well as Mobile Legends, which will be happening later in the year. While AoV, we will be back tomorrow to find out what happens to the rest of the matches. So if I'm not too wrong, we have Buriram United Esports up against 7 Treasure now. It's happening, so you can hop onto the Thai channel if you want. If you're watching the stream, the link should be in
there'll be a pop-up for you.
But if you want to check out our social media, that's fine as well. We are on Facebook as well as Instagram, or on YouTube, all the platforms that we mentioned. But for tomorrow, it will be Day9 up against the winner of 7 Treasure and Buriram. And then, we have the top half of the bracket, which is Space Gamer Mamazita up against Riven Tail. I'm pretty excited to see who goes into the finals.
That's right.
And will representing Thailand in the FSL Elite that's happening in March, which we will both be casting as well. So remember to keep your eyes on that. Big shout out to our sponsors, Dreamcore for our PC sponsor, Super Solid as our monitor sponsor, Aftershock as our hardware sponsor, and last but not least, Yahoo as our media partner. And obviously to you guys for joining us on the stream. This has been Aris and Kinofu. We will go out for today, but tomorrow we'll see you for the semi-finals.